Hey guys, day 5 of the 30 for 30 on the meaning and significance of the resurrection. Hey, I wanted to share with you that back in October of 2019, there was an event in the entertainment industry that really shook things up. It was that Kanye West released an album called Jesus is King. And in being quoted about this album, obviously people had a lot of questions. He had another song that he had released called I Am a God, and so he went from being I Am a God to saying things like Jesus is King and releasing a whole album focused on making that known. Now, when you think about this experience of Kanye West becoming evidently a Christian, some people might call it a Damascus Road Experience. And this is something that's directly from the Bible. And 3 places in Acts, Paul's story of conversion, who is a man named Saul of Tarsus, is recorded. The first time is the actual time, and then he tells it 2 times. So he was converted on the road to Damascus, and where he was going was he was going to persecute and hopefully put to death Christians, but he has an experience with the resurrected Jesus there on the road. Jesus speaks to him. He's blinded. Jesus, the resurrected Jesus, supernaturally, miraculously appears to Saul of Tarsus, and then he changes from being against Christ to being one who would do everything he can in service to Christ to make the message known. Now, as you think about that, that's maybe one reason you might consider believing in the resurrection. This is not just Paul, but many people. In fact, his half-brother James, in John 7:5, it says that he and the other brothers disbelieved in Jesus, but then after the resurrection, in Acts 1:15 and 21, James is one of the early leaders of the church. And so what happened? The only thing we can explain that by is James, Paul, hundreds of others had resurrection encounters with Jesus, that they saw Jesus, who was dead, alive again. And not only did they understand that, many people understood it, but they understood the meaning. They once were slaves to sin, and through the resurrection and belief in Jesus as their Lord and King, they were set free from this bondage. And that's what Kanye actually expressed when asked about this and why he released this album. He says, hey, I'm set free. I'm no longer a servant of the world, but a servant of Christ. And so my goal is to make him known. He says, hey, I've made a lot of things known in my life. What for instance, what fashion can do for me, or what Hennessy can do for me. But now he wants to share what Jesus can do for him and for you. And so that the meaning of the resurrection and the significance of it is that there's nothing more significant. There's nothing more meaningful to us. And so on day 5 here, as we journey through this 30 for 30, let's ask ourselves, are we living as if they were true? Because each and every one of us who believes has had a Damascus Road experience where we used to be serving ourselves or some other purpose, but now we're brought into new life, forgiveness, redemption, and eternal life through belief and faith in Jesus. So that's the meaning for today, is that when you look at the resurrection, nothing more meaningful, nothing more significant, nothing worth sharing and making known. And those who come from a life that's antagonistic towards Jesus and then see the grace that Christ has in forgiving their sins, intuitively understand this is the best news I could ever hear. That's where the resurrection of Jesus is the pinnacle and the most important part of our gospel message. So as you're thinking about it, get prepared, get primed. On April 12th, we will be celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ together. You're welcome to join us at 10:30 a.m. at 324 West Main Street, Norman, Oklahoma. God bless. You have a great day, and be good, be safe. Talk to you later.